just wanna have fun with you. The world is such an ugly place, so let's pay no attention to the news. Ignorance is a beautiful thing. Let's fall in love and ride a bicycle for two. Democracy's collapsing in the USA, so tonight we're only thinking about you and me. I wanna ignore reality with you. Social media is selling all our private information, and Big Brother's always watching you. The government's controlled by evil corporations, and they all wanna make a profit from you. I don't even wanna vote for the next president, and I don't wanna go to work so I can pay my rent, 'cause I just wanna have fun with you. Climate change is melting all the polar ice caps, and you look so pretty in that dress. All the bees are going extinct. I think I'll make you a mixtape on cassette. Mass shootings are happening every day, so let's go and get some matching heart tattoos. A nuclear war is just days away, so I just wanna have some fun since we're doomed.
Yay!
Welcome to Dustin's Vinyl. Here's Dustin Chafin.
Yeah, Anthony Kapfer. Yeah, the very uplifting song. Yeah, I was like, who?
Yeah, that was a love song that I wrote.
That is a love song. All I want to do is have fun, huh? Reminds me of somebody else that everybody hates. I mean, you do a song about fun. Everybody just hates you. But Anthony, I like you being fun. Usually pretty dark. So
Yeah.
you threw in some, climate change stuff. But we expect that from you. But yeah, you should have fun. I think everything is too dark. I don't know. I used to be dark and broody and all that. Now I'm like, dude, just have fun, relax.
Yeah. You're having fun all the time now.
Look at me. Look at this
I
outfit.
see.
I'm always having fun.
Yeah, you're fun.
Like this. I mean, this says fun, dude. Yeah,
Party time.
you have to. Yeah, it's why it's LA's fun. That's why I like it. I was in New York this weekend, and it's like, well, I was actually in Connecticut. I was in Mohegan Sun. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That casino, so Native American
Yeah.
casino. The translation is, get white man money back. I think that's translation. But yeah, it's casino life is interesting. It's like everybody just comes there and just gets wasted, and then there happens to be a comedy show, and then there we are with like drunk people that lost money. So yeah, you guys are good. And so you gotta entertain them in a place called Roadhouse where they got a mechanical bull. So yeah, that was in my wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun. Let me bring in the other riffraff, and then we'll get some more convo going. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the other part of the band, Adam Holz and Jeffrey Paul. Yeah.
All right.
You guys.
Yes.
So yeah, I was in the East Coast, and it was interesting being out there. I don't know how you guys do it. I can't do it anymore. That cold weather was just way too much. It was 0 degrees in Connecticut. I was like,
Oh,
"Ah,
yeah.
man, I'm done, dude. I'm done with it. I'm not at a certain age of my life. I'm not going to live in the cold. Like I will never live in the cold ever again. That's what I've decided.
I'm with you.
Awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
I know. We know, Anthony. You came up here. I know.
I don't want to go back.
Here.
I grew up in New York, and I don't miss it. I wouldn't go back.
Dude, I was there 25 years. It's like I'm New York. It's not like I'm like kind of New York.
I went
25 years. I think I got my card,
I went
Yeah.
northwest this weekend too.
You what?
I was up northwest this weekend. I was
where's that at?
not too far from Pittsburgh. I was at a place.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in Warriors Mark, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Well, I don't know
And-
what that is. I like Pittsburgh, though.
Oh, let me tell you something. If I would have gotten thrown out and then left there, it would have been an episode of Naked and Afraid because you had no idea where you were. I would have had to like learn to survive. There is nothing in Warriors Mark.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be
Nothing.
naked though in that weather.
No, I've probably gotten beaten up and then stripped naked and having to walk around, but they would have just given me a satchel.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's weird, man. I was out there. I did it's like, one of those raffle shows at one of those VW Hall things or something. I was with our friend Alan Fuchs, and we were performing out there, and the raffle was it was guns. It was like they were raffling guns during the thing, like an air rifle thing with its automatic weapon and like just a regular shotgun 30-06. I was like, what is happening to
I would have put in for that.
I go, what happened to the lottery, basket, or it says scratch tickets or, somebody's
Big
muffins.
screen TV.
Or
Yeah,
you know,
I was like,
a
really,
loofah
guys?
and some lotions.
Yeah. And they're like, well, it's hunting season. I was like, all right, man, calm it down. There's a supermarket
Shoot your eye out,
miles
kid.
away. Yeah. You'll shoot this whole mall up, kid.
No, but it's crazy when you go to these small little towns and like the comedy show is that's the big night out for a lot of these people.
Until we come and they're like, we should have stayed home. But it is a big deal, because they didn't even have movie theaters, some of these places. So it's like we're the only game in town.
Or that they just want to see something live.
Yeah, they're like, can you guys do the Goonies?
I'm going to act out the whole Goonies.
Hey, I would do that.
Like
I
Simple
played-
Jack.
Jeff would play the Josh Brolin guy. What was it? He played the bully guy.
Oh yeah.
Like you missed an opportunity in life, Jeff, to play a bully on screen.
I know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you could be like a Biff
high
type.
school bully.
I could be Biff's dad now.
Biff's dad.
Dad.
Like the
Biff
backstory is I bullied him.
Of course, that's usually how it works. Trickle down bullying. That's what we do.
That's how
but
come I'm not a bully. I don't have a dad.
And look at you. Who are you bullying? A Girl Scout? Come on, get out of here.
Not with that hat.
It's
What
the
is that? A
it's the
hat?
gla-
Is that a hat? What is that?
You
This
know
is
what?
a hat. That's
about
not a
that?
hat.
Yeah, come on with that.
No matter
Like a
what I
beanie
wear, you
or
guys-
something.
Always ripping on me. How about this?
You can't get away from those, can you? Those keep
I got
coming
him right
back.
here next to me.
Yeah,
keep
now you look like
haunting us.
McDonald's.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I'm bringing them back. You said
def-
last time that
between-
the
between
long
that hat
hair
and those
doesn't work
glasses.
with the. What about now with the
do
with
you
my
got
hair
now?
covered?
Okay, you're fine, dude. Just yeah, I was in New York. I saw a play, which was great. Collaboration. We saw that. That's the story of the collaboration of Andy Warhol and Basquiat.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was really cool, man. It was kind of, it's funny. The first half of the play was basically just an odd couple. It was like those two just kind of not liking each other and all that stuff. And then becomes this deep, serious thing. But yeah, it's really good, man. It was like, it makes you, made me want to maybe go to an art museum. We actually went to the Modern right after and talked about it. That was pretty cool. But, I feel like nobody's into art anymore. I used to really be into it when I was in art school and all that stuff. But now it's just like, nobody cares,
I've gone to like all the art museums. I've even gone to art museums in
When's the
Europe.
last time? When's the last time?
Oh,
It's been a
you're
few years.
Yeah,
It's been a
I
few
went
years.
to the Rijksmuseum in Holland. I went to the Van Gogh Museum
Yeah,
in
I've
Holland.
been to
Amsterdam.
museums. I've
Yeah.
been to
I've been to
all that
museum.
stuff.
The Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
You
yeah,
guys
but
been?
not like last week. You guys have been like
No, not
10 years ago.
Yeah,
so-
we don't
It's a
don't have
few
the
years.
time as much
That's what I'm
anymore.
saying. Is
Yeah.
nobody does it now. We all did it at some point, sure. I went to Italy. I saw the art, but now it's like, I'm just saying it's nice. I forgot that we love art. And then Andy Warhol, when you're watching this play, you realize how much he kind of influenced, he was all about filming every single moment. It was all about this 15 minutes of fame. It was all about these splash
Yes.
things. And then that's really all social media is. I feel like he kind of like created this pattern for that. And everybody,
Yeah.
It just piqued my interest a little bit to see this play.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you'll see it. Awesome. All right, let's do it. So February is Black History Month. So I feel, we didn't prepare a show for that because we're racist. But I did.
At least we said it out loud.
Well, say it out loud. We're not racist. Jeff's a little racist, but the rest of us are.
I'm not even white.
Yeah, you are. Look at that. Look at
Man,
yourself right
stop
now.
it,
That-
Anthony.
you couldn't
Look
be
at-
Your name is
whiter.
Anthony.
You couldn't be whiter right now. It's come on, dude. You lose. Do you speak Spanish? No.
See,
You can't call
Okay,
yourself Puerto Rican if you
okay,
can't speak
Dustin.
Spanish.
Blame my grandmother. She didn't. She knew I would have a hard time.
Blame you. Learn your language.
She didn't want me to.
You have an
be
app
persecuted.
Oh, shut up. You have an app for everything. You could put an app on there how to learn Spanish. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have a camera app, you have a skinny jeans app, you have like all kinds of apps. You can get a learn Spanish app. Come on. I'll teach you Spanish.
All right.
Yo soy Anthony.
Oh, I like it.
Un flaco. All right. You can't really, talk about, jazz or art or Black History Month without talking about John Coltrane. This is an amazing album. I got this at a flea market here in LA, and this is his greatest years. A lot of people don't know which albums to get. Sometimes greatest hits albums get a bad rap. A lot of people say you should just get the albums, and sometimes it's like, it's funny in the play they talk about how John Coltrane and Miles Davis had a conversation. John Coltrane said, "I don't know how to end the song. I feel like the songs go too long." And then apparently Miles Davis said, "Well, just pull the fucking horn out of your mouth." Such a great moment. But yeah, Coltrane. We got old Coltrane over here. What else we got? And then we got little Richie Pryor. If you like the comedy.
Oh yeah,
it's a great one. Is It Something I Said? This is a great album. Get that. And let's see what else we got here. We got another best of Muddy Waters, one of my favorites. A little blues jam. And yeah, we'll save the other ones for the next.
that's good. I never know where to start with people like Muddy Waters. Like, there's so much.
Yeah,
So,
I
greatest
don't
hits,
think
I
you're
guess,
gonna
is
go
the
wrong
good.
with anything. It's not like he's doing a cover of Mariah Carey Christmas song or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just get anything. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I think when it comes to an artist you're not sure of, get a greatest hits and work your way back.
Or just that's the thing with your streaming shit. It's like it's most of the stuff, good stuff's up at the top. So, and then I like taking a risk. That was the best part of like growing up. And you might get a bad album, and that's okay. I don't think that's a big deal. Like if you, I mean, there's so many artists. Like you would get like NXS or something, and like the one album be good, 3 would be bad, and then one, because you would always because their big album would be whatever he's listening to, and then there'd be like 3 or 4 albums before that nobody even knew about, and then you would just like get one like, oh, they got better, and I think that's part of it.
You remember when you were a kid, if you bought an album you didn't like, you returned and you go, "It's warped."
Oh, is that what you did?
I bought Jethro Tull Song from the Woods. I hated it. It was warped. Can I get Kiss Destroyer?
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
I like that they let you exchange it just because it was warped. You're like, I want a whole other band.
Yeah.
This one was warped.
Had nothing to do with that. It's opened and I hated it.
Did I ever tell you guys? Well, was a CD, but I bought the Franz Ferdinand album when it came out, that big one, and it came without the CD inside. I bought it new from Best Buy.
Oh, that's
that ever happened to you? You buy a CD and
there's
nothing inside?
Yeah, I got
that
one.
Happened to you,
once. Yeah,
that happened to you, Adam?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's happened to me. I'm trying to remember which one. I remember it happened with PC games also. I would buy them and just wouldn't be in there. And it'd be so tough to convince them that
that's
it just
so
didn't.
Funny. I thought they wouldn't believe me, but when I went, they said that happens sometimes with games. But but I'd never heard of that happening with CDs before. So I was like, I don't know if this is kind of weird, but there's no CD in here. So I was like, give me Kiss Destroyer.
Right.
There it is. There it
And
is.
we've come full circle.
Thank you, Jeff.
I used to be a professional comedian.
Got to get back into it, dude. You still got the chops. Grab a mic. You can do it. Grab a microphone. Tell them silly jokes.
Which one?
A microphone.
They're all over the city, dude. They're everywhere. Mics are everywhere.
I got 2 of them
Microphones,
right here.
stages. Yeah, man, get on stage, dude. We miss you. We miss you out there, Anthony, slinging your jokes.
Yeah, I had some good ones.
So you retired it?
All
You
right,
retired,
should I make
aren't you?
Dustin feel good for a minute?
What happened?
What?
Make me feel good? Sure.
Yeah, because a couple of times, I did a show last night, and I, to talk to people since the last time we got together in the past week, and on more than one occasion,
Yes.
people have brought up that how much they miss Greenwich. Well, it's still there, and they're like, no, it's so different, and I know what they meant because when Dustin booked and you got booked on the show, you kind of felt kind of special. Like it was a good lineup. It wasn't just like you were getting on. You earned your spot. You felt good about it.
Oh yeah, I
And
used to watch all the shows.
right. And like now they're saying it's just even the comments are saying you have no idea who anybody is. It's like Dustin when he did it, you had I think 5 comics. You would have like the check spot, a guest spot, and that's it. That was it. Now I mean, on a Saturday night, you're getting 11 comics. It's the weeknight 11 o'clock show at Broadway.
Ooh, those were rough.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be careful. People might be tuning in, but
I'm never going back.
Yeah, you're fine, Anthony. But yeah, I don't think you need to worry about it. Yeah, I think we've talked about it before. I just feel people. I think when you're an artist, I really feel strongly about this. I'm all kinds of an artist. Like I was a painter. I got in a really good art school. Like I did, so it's like everything I do should feel artistic. And even like comedy, I try to make it as artsy as I can. I try to look different, act different kinds of jokes. And then even when I produced a show, it's like I felt like I cared about it. I treated it like an art. Like, you have a good MC, you have somebody good that can open, you have your fresher kind of newer guys in the middle, and then you kind of have like a banger at the end. And like, yeah, I had a system to it. And I feel like, and it's not that difficult. I think it's just a lot of it is a lot of these people, they're taking advantage of bringer shows. They're taking advantage of, just seeing like, hey, if you bring 30 people and put money in my pocket, then I'll put you on at a club down in the village. And then the next thing you know, you have 12 of those guys, and then that's your show. And you're not caring about the audience. And see, my whole thing was I pride myself on people coming back to a show. And so the person that runs all these clubs doesn't care about that. It's more about getting them in, getting them out. My whole thing was like, when I ran that place, it was like, people came back all the time, especially on the weekends. Like they always came back. Staten Island and Jersey and everybody.
I used to talk to the audience all the time when I was trying to sell my stuff to them.
Oh,
and there were a lot of people that were like, oh, I was here a couple months ago. I was here last year, whatever. Like even people from out of town, they would come back to New York and they would go back to I have no problem calling myself the greatest comedy producer of all time with the budget that I was given. Nobody was a better comedy producer than me ever in the history of the world of stand-up comedy with my budget and, the year that we were doing it and the years we did it. I don't know how you did it.
I mean, in the 70s or whatever, maybe Steve Martin and those guys came down and whatever, but that, it's... And with the budget, I had no budget. I would just have to try to like figure out how to get these things. And they would always cut my budget. And then now after the pandemic, they cut everything. So it was like, nobody wants to pay anybody. And so then you have 12 guys that barely know what they're doing and the audience suffers. So I appreciate it, Jeff, but you could, you should run a show. I know you were trying to run a club and open a club. I mean, it's like, we need better people running better shows. That's the problem because you get it. You understand what it is to run a show.
I'll do a pop up. I'll do if I want to do it. I get a lot of fundraisers that come up my way.
Should I send you my avails or what do I?
You're not going anywhere.
You know what it is? It's all,
I can't even get you to come to my house, dude.
But what you said, Dustin, it's all based on repeat business because someone will see me at a fundraiser and they go, "That was really great. Can you do this for my organization?" And like, we put it together. And I with depends on their budget. And you get the comics that that will kind of fit that organization.
Sure. Well, you did Under the Stars. You still doing that? That open space?
They lost their budget. That town got destroyed. Linden, Adam, got destroyed during the pandemic. So many places moved out. You see, even now they're really feeling it with the economy. The high prices are really destroying them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It breaks my heart a little bit, about what happened to that club. It's like it could have been a great club if people just actually cared a little bit about it, gave a little bit of money to it. It could have been a great club. But
We had
what are
some
you gonna
good
do?
years there.
I
Yeah, it
always,
is
A
what
lot
it
of
is.
fond
I always
memories.
thought,
Yeah.
if it went up for sale, it'd be something I would consider buying.
Yeah, it's a great location, but he's gonna give it to his kids and they'll destroy it and it'll just be a muffin shop or something. Both those clubs. One will be some sort of disco and then I don't
It'd
know.
be a sushi
The-
place.
The original Improv is a Chipotle now, right?
Oh, in New York?
Is
Yeah,
that what that now?
I
That's
think
where that
so.
Chipotle is on is it 43rd and 9th?
I believe that whatever the original
Oh, I
Improv
think
where
you're right.
where Andy Kaufman started out, I think it's a Chipotle.
That's so gross. How about Bleecker Bob's is a sushi place?
Is
It
it?
is. Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, some sushi's better than some of the comedy, some of the
It's really good.
stuff.
Original pressing.
Pretty soon, everything in New York will be a weed dispensary and a
That's
sushi.
why
Oh,
I
yeah.
left. That's why I left. It's like it sucks in New York now. I don't know. It's just not what it used to be. I mean, LA's not either, but at least there's still some rock clubs. There's no rock clubs left in Manhattan. There's no CBGBs. There's no Continental. There's no Coney Island High. There's no Kansas City Mac. There's nothing. There's nothing left. There's like two good jazz
I think
clubs.
there's a couple of I don't know. I think that like live band. There is a couple of them.
Yeah,
It's
but you
not
can't
the
name
same.
one. So
Not the
they
classic
obviously
ones.
don't have a
I haven't
scene.
hung out there in
I
a
played
while,
at
but
CBGB's a bunch of times.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Kenny's Castaways.
is that still there? That may be still be there.
That might still be there.
Yeah, I think there's one or two still around. I don't know.
Continental, I think, exists, but they stopped having bands like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if
They
it's
took
still
the
there.
stage out. They put a
There
movie
used to be a
screen.
place on Sullivan Street that used to do really good shows.
Oh, the Bitter End is still around.
No, there
That
was
a
one I think it was called
Yeah.
like the Sullivan Theater or something. It was like it fit about 300, and you get like a lot of hardcore bands in there.
nice.
Yeah, I think everything's temporary. CBGB's was on its way out when it was leaving, and
Yes.
so were all these other bands, other clubs and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think Greenwich was, it's like if you don't have somebody that cares, then it's just gonna go, just like all the other clubs. So a lot of people don't care, Jeff. They just want to make money and put themselves up, and what are you gonna do?
Listen, you have to make money too.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But any hoot, we still got music, guys. We still got music that drives us and it's nostalgic and it keeps the beat alive. And it's the thing. These we've been doing these mixtapes every week. We this week we just we picked years in our lives where this particular playlist was a part of our music genre or playlist or whatever it was. So we're gonna take it away with Adam. And what do you got for us, buddy?
All right, so I went back to the aughts, 20 years ago exactly, to
The
2003 for my mixtape, and I think there was a lot of great music in 2003, and this is kind of when a lot of the trends that we started seeing in 2001 really started to kind of peak, or you saw a lot of bands kind of taking up the trends of that time. And so these are these are songs I listened to in 2003. And actually starting it off, I'm going to start off in New York City with, that was one of the great things about the aughts was just the whole music scene in New York City was really thriving, especially Brooklyn, the Lower East Side. A lot of it was thanks to the Strokes coming in 2001. It really kind of, you found a lot of great rock, a lot of great punk, a lot of great garage rock in that area. And when I think of that time, I think of this band, the Yeah Yeahs, who I'd probably put them up there with the Strokes as one of the better New York City bands during the early 2000s. This is their debut album, Fever to Tell. I picked the song Black Tongue off of it. And this album is known for Maps is their big song, but it's a pretty slow song. It's a great song. I wanted something to start this mixtape off that was kind of more electrifying. And this song, to me, really kind of exemplifies what the Yeah are. This is a real like sex, drugs, and rock and roll song, and it really shows off Karen O's range. I think she's one of the most dynamic front women in rock, and in this one, it's basically a song about a kind of like a bathroom tryst, and in it she squeals. She's and I first off, I would take her squeals over Yoko Ono's squeals any day too.
Well, you gotta bring Yoko into
I know
this.
that's but but this is this is a great song, great lyrics. I just love the refrain where boy, you're such a stupid bitch, and girl, you're just a no good dick. It's just like it's a wild song. It's it's just an exciting song too. It's very art punk rock kind of song. And the great thing is that the Yeah Yeahs are still, I think still just as popular now as they were back then. I mean, you see them right now. They just announced a new tour. They're headlining a bunch of festivals, and they're just a great band to see live.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with this band, but I did enjoy it. I feel like they're way better than the Breeders, and my dog is better than Yoko. So,
God, you guys.
Yeah, man, it's like sexy rock, It's it's nice. It's good stuff. It's kind of remind me of what was that band, Amel and the Sniffers or something, like has a similar sound. But yeah, and definitely the Strokes and some White Stripes, and there's a lot of going on, and it's just good, sexy rock, stuff you kind of want to listen to. You're drawn to it. It's like it makes you want to, party and just drive in your car and just find some drugs and that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed it. I'm curious of what Jeff thinks of it, though. I can never tell if this is a band for Jeff or not.
Yeah. For as much as everything Adam liked, that's what I hated about him. Okay, I hated her voice. I hated the lyrics. Okay, it's not quite the songwriting of the Clash or Queen. Okay, in fact, I really had a hard time getting past this song, and it's not a long song. Okay, you didn't pick an opus here, but this just wasn't for me. I mean, I just found it to be incredibly annoying.
What was
you should
annoying
listen
about
to Kiss
it?
Destroyer instead.
If he would have put it on here, I would have enjoyed it a million times better. It's fucking yes.
But you like Cannonball, and I think this is better than that.
No way.
Absolutely.
I don't
Absolutely
way better.
Not.
Leaps
Absolutely
and bounds. Yeah.
No way.
No.
Yes way.
Cannonball has at least Cannonball had a hook, and her voice was better.
Yeah.
And that's such a stronger song. Oh, this wasn't for me.
That was great, Adam. I loved it, Adam. That was great. Anthony, what'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I am the most familiar with Maps. I never really did a deep dive into the Yeahs stuff, but
rightfully so.
but I liked this song enough that I'm going to check out. I'm gonna listen to the rest of the album. I'm gonna check out their other stuff. Adam,
can I borrow that album and return it and say it's warped?
Yeah, it's warped.
And get another copy of Kiss Destroyer.
We're gonna get Squiddy Politti.
Squiddy Politti.
Squiddy Politti.
I still have not listened to it. I refuse to listen to it.
Get it.
I might buy that copy for $5 at the record store.
It'll still be there.
Oh yeah.
No, that moves fast. Squiddy moves fast, man. Don't sit on Squiddy. Don't sit
Adam,
on
I'd rather
Squiddy.
listen to the Blow Monkeys. Remember? Do you guys remember them?
No.
Is that like Hootie and the Blowfish?
No, the Blow Monkeys.
Oh
my god, they had that big hit, "Digging Your Scene." The singer's name was Dr. Robert. No,
man, I'm gonna rush out though. I'll tell you that. I'm going to go to my local record store.
it was actually kind of like a fun video for that. So check it out.
Blow
Monkeys.
Blow Monkeys, Digging Your Scene.
Blow Monkeys, Digging Your Scene. I like it. All right, Adam. What's the next one you got?
All right, so the next one I went with a New Jersey artist, Ted Leo and the Pharmacists. Are actually their second album, Hearts of Oak, which is a green album, so it's just gonna disappear in this green screen.
Bleed right in. Awesome.
So this was, so this song was the second song off their album, Hearts of Oak, and it was the first song I heard of Ted Leo. I hadn't heard of him before. One of my friends burnt me this CD. And this is the song that hooked me on this band, this singer. The song's called "Where Have All the Rude Boys Gone." Now, the song is basically, it's kind of a nostalgic song about, in this, he's kind of lamenting the music scenes of the past. And in this case, he's talking about the two-tone ska UK bands like the Specials and the Beat. I never really got into them. So a lot of the references were kind of lost on me in the song, but I just loved the song in general, the melody, his singing. I think Ted Leo's got impressive voice and a great range that he showcases here in the song. It's a very kind of infectious just song. It's catchy. It's a great tune, and it turned me on to his album. I think this is a fantastic album. It's actually one of my favorite punk albums. It's one that I brought up when we were doing our top 5 punk albums. And it's a lot of his music is more political, but this has a great sound to it, and it's one of the standout tracks. I think it was on a lot of the top 100 lists of 2003. This was in the top 20. This song.
Yeah, no, this is good. I feel like I wasn't listening to a lot of music in 2003. I don't know. I felt like I was immersed in comedy, so I missed some of these bands. I feel like this kind of had a Spoon vibe to it. I feel like a little bit of that happening. Yeah, I think it was good. I mean, it kind of blended into the Wall a little bit. But I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, it's very Adam, whereas I think Jeff would agree on some of this. Especially, yeah. It's funny, you do have a distinctive sound. I feel like I'm probably the most all over the place. Jeff's probably second, and then you're third, and then Anthony is very on point with what he, it's a very locked box of what he likes. But you guys are close though.
It's a big box though.
It's big, but it's locked. It's big, but it's locked. You don't let a lot of other stuff in.
I lost the keys.
What was that? The skeleton key or whatever?
Yeah.
Get the hex key. Yeah.
The hex key, the Allen wrench,
right?
Phillips head,
yeah.
Blockhead. I don't know what else.
Well, what do you think about this one, Anthony? What do you think about this song?
I like this a lot. This is another one. So when this came out, I knew a lot of people that were really into Ted Leo. They would go see him live all the time. And for whatever reason, I was fighting liking all of this stuff. I was still stuck in the 90s, I think. I was still thinking about grunge. And I was like, man, I don't want to go see any of these bands. And so I kind of missed out on this. This is another one that I was aware of, but never really, I didn't seek out Ted Leo stuff. And now that I've heard this, I'm going to go check out this whole album. I'm going to check out all his stuff because I thought this was great.
Yeah, this is a great album. Hearts of Oak, Tyranny of Distance, his first album. And the one right after this, right after Hearts of Oak, Shake the Sheets in 2004 is another great one to check out.
I never listened to all of them.
And Jeff, you have this album, right?
I don't.
I liked it because I imagined Jeff hating it. That's
right. I didn't hate it, okay? But when you think of 2003, and I was just thinking of some songs, and I was just jotting down like songs of 2003 that I would be into, like "Be My Girl" by Jet. There's like a good hard rock song. I liked, we had covered Linkin Park, so I liked Faint. I loved Evanescence. Still to this day, Bring Me to Life. So this was not on that genre or type of music that I listened to. I think this band just totally went past me. So, but after listening to Black Tongue, and this was the next song on it, I was like, this is a pretty good song. I kind of enjoyed it. You're right. It was catchy. It had melody. It was a fun song. And yeah, Rude Boy it was something that they would call like the dances. When you go to the clubs.
Were you a rude boy?
I
You're a fantastic dancer.
I had a small part of my life when I was into Madness and the specials, and I loved that dance ska. Yeah, because it was fun dance music. I love General Public.
Nice. We got to get some video of this. We got to call your wife. We got to get some high school friends. We got to dig up some video. Adam, that is your job. You got to find some VHS footage or whatever.
Oh, we're gonna make some YouTube shorts of them.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some old stuff. Adam, I didn't see this next band coming on your list. It's really talk about outside the box.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I didn't see this coming at all. What do you got for us?
All right, so we're gonna go with my favorite band, Radiohead, and their sixth studio album, "Hail to the Thief," and this is "Go to Sleep," which is really them bringing the guitars back after the previous two albums when they made a complete left turn with Kid A in 2000 and Amnesiac in 2001. Hail to the Thief was more kind of a return to more of a rock album, and that's kind of why I picked this song, "Go to Sleep." I always like the dual guitars in this. It's a song which is on point for Radiohead. It's a song about hopelessness in basically the face of everything that was going on at the time. "Hail to the Thief" is about, obviously the 2000 election with W. Bush, but also Tony Blair, about 9/11, and
that's such a departure because Radiohead is such an uplifting band. They write like a lot of about light subjects and everything. Yeah,
right. So this one, this was focused a lot on the war in Afghanistan and the upcoming war in Iraq, and it was pretty much like just that hopeless feeling that all of us had at the time. Like there's nothing really we can do about it. And in the lyrics, I would just want to go to sleep, let this wash all over me. But I think it's it's a much shorter Radiohead song than they have. I think it's less than 3 minutes long. And yeah, I thought it was just a good rocking song for the time. There were a couple others I wanted to choose for this. There or Myxomatosis. This is "Hail to the Thief" is a great album, and I know, Jeff, you hated "The Smile," and "The Smile" is probably the closest album. When I think of "The Smile," I always think of Radiohead's "Hail to the Thief" because they're very, very similar.
Yeah, I think obviously lyrically, it's what Radiohead does, where it's this kind of melodic and kind of drag, if you will. But I think musically though, it seems a little more upbeat. Like it's with the music itself, it kind of comes in harder and a little faster. I don't know. It just seemed like it's not as drawn out as a lot of their stuff might be with pedals and all that other stuff. But I feel,
right. This one, this one goes back more towards the Benz era Radiohead, rather than everything post OK Computer, which, it was just like if you go and you listen to Kid A, there's almost no guitars on it. Everything's mostly electronic. Or just it's just such a different sound than what they're doing here on "Hail to the Thief."
Yeah, I'd be more interested in this Radiohead. Like this feels like something I'd be more into. Because I'm actually a happy person. So
what you would probably like is their next album right after this, "In Rainbows" from 2007, which was more of their it's almost their love album. And that album, it's interesting because when you go, you talk to other Radiohead fans, there's usually 4 albums that could come up as the best Radiohead album ever. Either the Benz, OK Computer, Kid A, or "In Rainbows." And so this was, "Hail to the Thief" was kind of this return, and then "In Rainbows" really was it kind of pushed all their styles together.
Nice. Jeff.
I'm not a big Radiohead fan.
We know.
I'm really
We know.
not.
We
I
know.
know you saw. I mean, what I like with Radiohead, I like Common Police a lot. I thought that was a really cool, moody song. I liked Creep, but I mean, I guess the commercial stuff that you hear on the radio. But anytime I did a deep dive into Radiohead, I mean, they just put me to sleep. I found them kind of boring. They're not hard enough for me. They're not melodic enough for me. So I'm really not a big fan of it. I mean, for a Radiohead song. Yeah, I'm glad. I was expecting a 7-8 minute song. When I saw that this was under 4 minutes, nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Scritty Politti?
I think Anthony's more of a Blow Monkeys guy.
Hootie and the Blow Monkeys, all the way. I liked it. It's not my favorite Radiohead song, but I thought it was cool. I prefer the first two songs on this mixtape to this Radiohead song, but
Wow.
but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like you and Adam just make playlists for each other. I feel that's what's happening here. Not really going out.
I
All
know.
right.
3 songs into this, I'm like, I can't do a road trip with either of these guys.
Right.
Yeah, you
Me
just
and Adam could do a road trip together.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I can tell.
Depends. Yeah, depends what you guys get.
Sometimes when the show is over, it's just me and him in the Zoom, and we just talk for like 45 minutes about music.
Yeah. All right. So way to make it feel like you have a better relationship with everyone.
You jump off so
Jeff,
fast. You could be part of it too.
Jeff doesn't talk to any of us. He is.
No, he's actually already gone.
And I do enough on the show. I don't need to hang out and talk to you guys. All right, so I'm me, so that is plenty. All right, so let's go. Keep going.
All right, so this next one was this was the hardest choice over here on the mixtape because the album this is off of, I think, is probably their best. This is the White Stripes, the Hardest Button to Button off of Elephant. And Elephant is just such a monster album. I mean, 2001, you have 3 bands that really break out. You have The Strokes with Is This It? You have The Shins with Oh Inverted World, and then you have White Stripes with White Blood Cells. And all 3 of those bands had albums that came out in 2003. I think White Stripes had the strongest album of the 3 with Elephant, and this was, I mean, this is the one that started with Seven Nation Army. This is a bigger, bolder album, and so I couldn't figure out, like, there were so many songs off that album I wanted to put on here. I wanted to put I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself, the cover, the Burt Bacharach cover, Dusty Springfield.
A great song.
Yeah, that cover. Ball and Biscuit, which is the only modern song from the 21st century that Bob Dylan's actually covered. And I decided to settle on the Hardest Button to Button because I think this one kind of exemplifies what the White Stripes are in a way. You have that equal contribution by Jack White and Meg White in this, and the song's a song about a kid in a dysfunctional family. It's got some weird lyrics. It just feels very White Stripes. And it also, I know Jack White said that it has to do with having that one button on your coat that you can't button. And also, this had one of the coolest videos.
Oh my God!
yes.
The Michael Gondry
Insane
stop motion video, which was shot in New York City, and shot in the PATH train, shot in I forget which bridge, but that's such, even watching it now, it's such a wild video.
Park.
Yeah. But
yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
White Stripes is a great band. I feel White Stripes is the band that a lot of people that like for like somebody, that kind of is just into a certain genre of music, let's say like heavy metal or, high school bands they like or whatever. White Stripes is a band that I feel like people felt like they were listening to new stuff again. Yep. Once they, it was everybody's kind of new band. I feel like it kind of crossed a lot of genres and people, and so it was kind of like, older people liked it. Like, I think it was, a band that a lot of people were drawn. Now, sometimes when I think about the White Stripes, I think it's just thud music, where I feel like a lot of their music starts the same. This has that similar thud kind of sound that kind of and then he's going, it's it's drumming, her drumming. I don't know. Even his solo stuff has that thud sound that. After a while, I kind of want something different. I think he's multi-talented, and I think he's a genius, and all that being said, but there's probably a reason I don't listen to a lot of White Stripes, and I think it's because it feels redundant to me. But I do like this song because I haven't heard it that much because it's not one of the more popular songs off that Elephant album. But it is good. I just feel like once again, so like sometimes too much of something might have been the problem here. For me, at least. Anthony, what do you think? What's your deal?
I love this one. I was reluctant to like them when White Blood Cells came out. I liked the singles just fine. But I remember I bought this CD when this one first came out, and I was like on the bus listening to it with headphones, and it just sounds so good. Just right from the beginning, I was like, damn, these guys got good. I don't know what happened. I'm into it. And it's I love the whole album. I think it's
a great album.
Songs are great. Production is great. And that video was awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Jeff?
I think you make a great point about the repetition of the thud sound. I never
Every song is that.
Yeah, I never thought of that. But and White Stripes is one of those bands that I don't listen to a lot, but recently I have. And the more I rediscover White Stripes, the more I really like them. And this song, man, is like, okay, we're 4 songs into Adam's tape, and finally something I'll put on repeat. Okay. No, I like this. I mean, I think Jack White's voice always sounds really cool in it. Yeah, I think Meg White's drumming is really cool. You know what? I think if you're listening to 8 songs in a row of this, it can get a little bit repetitious. But when you're putting this in a mixed tape, I think it really stands out, and it really sounds really good. And his voice and guitar playing is just so unusual. It's a sound which you want, when you can hear without any music, without any lyrics. I'm sorry, and just say, okay, I know that's Jack White. So it's very distinctive.
And I do like that.
Good song.
Yeah,
this was a very good song.
Nice. All right, and here's where it goes downhill. All right, Adam. So.
All right. So. All right, I had a lot of bands I wanted to put on this list, and and
this is the one you chose?
No, all right. So I figured that The Rapture is a band that we probably aren't going to talk about much. And I'm like, oh, they had. I love this album when it came out in 2003, Echoes by The Rapture. And I picked, and this was actually their most popular song, House of Jealous Lovers, which, kind of reminds me of the Christopher Walken SNL bit, more cowbell, because there's so much cowbell in this. And but this is a dance punk song. It was actually credited with kind of reviving dance punk. And the interesting thing about this song is it was produced by James Murphy from LCD Sound System. So this is with DFA Records. Yep. And so you hear, once you know that and you hear it, you're like, I get it. This could have been this could have been an LCD song years later. But this song also was the inspiration for Justin Timberlake to create Sexy Back. So, but this was a huge song at the time, especially a huge indie song. And I remember seeing The Rapture in concert. They played, was it Roseland? And the place was just jam packed in 2003. But it's a fun song. I don't think it's a song for everybody. It's a dance song. It's something a little bit different. I figured throw on something a little bit more electronic with this one.
Yeah, I mean, so they're to blame for bringing Sexy back. Okay, I was wondering who I needed to write a letter to about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, it's dance music, you know. It kind of reminds you of the what was it, New Young Pony Club and some other stuff. I think there was like a Peter Bjorn and stuff. It's
Oh
good.
yeah, Pure Bjorn and John.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bjorn and John. Yeah, it's it's definitely something that I mean, but it's if you were in a club and you're dressed up and you're kind of like enjoying this moment with the lighting and stuff. I think it's going to be something you might enjoy. But I think just driving in your Kia down Sunset, you know what I mean? Like it's just not.
There's a lot of work to go into enjoy.
Yeah, but
this
it's
song.
like there's a lot going on. But like when Welcome to the Jungle comes on, it's like everything makes sense, But with something like this, and I'm driving, it's like okay, it's all right. I did my best. I gave it a shot. But I'm kind of a snob with my dance music because I come from the new wave era. So that's why I was so like, with Depeche Mode and stuff. It's like there's just certain we had New Order, Joy Division, and all these things. We had just a lot going on that was good that we danced to. Like what we danced to was great music. And so I think it's like dance music is kind of like it's departed from that. It's not always the best music now. Now it's just poppy and hip hoppy and all that shit. So it's not like what we had. But curious what Anthony thinks about it.
I loved it. I thought this was one of the highlights of the mixtape. It was very LCD.
You two need to do it and get it over with. All right.
This was a band that I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't think I heard any of their stuff. And it was very LCD sound system in all of the ways that I would want something to be. I didn't realize that he produced it. I think maybe this is the band. I watched that documentary. I think maybe this is the band that's in that documentary.
I think they are. Yeah, in Meet Me in the Bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about how they felt like he wanted to be in the band when he was producing this, and they were like, "Whoa,
right,
back off." And then he did LCD Sound System. I thought it was great. This is another one that I wanna check out. Like more of their stuff.
You just throw that one great around a lot, you know what I mean? You just throw it around.
Well, not for yours.
Because you don't know music, but anyway. Unless it sounds like what you do.
No, I liked it. I don't know. This was a fun mixtape.
Yeah. Pretty bad. All right, so what's the last one?
All right, the last one is...
Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
No, it's okay because
yeah.
I took ecstasy and went to a rave after hearing this song. Yeah, I mean, 2003. You couldn't go with Hey Ya. You couldn't throw one on for me.
Ooh, that's a good point, though.
Right, Adam?
I thought about it. I thought about Hey Ya, but
because God forbid you should put something halfway commercial and that's good.
I mean, I was gonna go with the Shins or New Pornographers in that spot, but so Hey Ya was a little bit further back.
Hey Ya is a great song.
Yeah,
it is a good song.
I'm just saying,
not to agree with
dance.
Jeff,
I hate that song. Yeah, it's terrible. I hate
don't like Hey Ya?
Nah, I don't like that song. Am I supposed to? I don't know.
I'm still not tired of Hey Ya. Is that
Neither
weird?
am I.
Yeah.
It's one of the few songs that not only is it old, but it was overplayed then, and it's still being overplayed in some places. And
I think it's such a crossover.
I just can't get enough of it.
I
can never hear that song too much.
I've had enough of this show. All right. So what's the last one? Let's get this over with.
All right. So, for the last one, I went with some Damon Albarn, some Blur, and Out of Time. So I slowed it down a bit off of off of Think Tank from 2003. This was at the time this was Blur's swan song. It's a great album if you guys haven't heard it. Kind of an underappreciated Blur album, and it's an album that at this time, Damon Albarn had just done the first Gorillaz album, and there was a little bit like when you listen to this album, you hear a little bit of that, and also of his solo album that would come out years later. But I like this song. I thought it was a beautiful song at the time, and it's just Yeah, it's a slower. There's another one I had trouble with because there's so many great songs on this album, but this was one of the more well-known ones on here. I got to see them perform too at I think it was at Giant Stadium during one of the one of those, I think it was called Field Day Fest at the time, and they did most of the Think Tank. It was great. Definitely an album to check out. Cool song.
Yeah, no, it was. Your cutoffs are short, man.
I know. I could.
There's no transition.
I was trying to figure out what time we had, how much time we had left.
Okay.
Thank you, Miles Davis.
What?
The trumpet right out of his mouth.
Right out of his mouth. Yeah, he does not give you a second. Okay. Talking is hard. Yeah, I think this almost felt like a kind of a Morrissey meets Chainsmokers kind of vibe, which
I like comparison.
That's I enjoy Blur a lot. That was a big album when their big album came out, Girls on Boys, and that with that big song and all that stuff. And so
Life, yeah, great album.
Yeah, and they're good. I mean, this is this doesn't stand out as anything spectacular for me, but I feel like it's it's good music. It's not, it's not like it's the Breeders or anything, you know what I mean? Or, the Foo Fighters. I mean, it's really good. They're just taking shots. But no, it's good music. I enjoyed it. Jeff, what do you think?
Finally, something I could have enjoyed on this. This was good. I really didn't know this song. And I like the earlier Blur stuff, and I never listened to this. I had already checked out on Blur, but this brought me back. This was nice. Yeah. Beautiful song. Cool. I really enjoyed this. Was easily my favorite song on the mixtape.
Very cool. Anthony, bring us home, buddy.
I love Blur, but this one didn't stand out.
Oh, you guys aren't going to work out. The honeymoon is over. The honeymoon is over.
Not my favorite Blur song. I mean, it's fine. I have nothing against it. I probably wouldn't even skip it. But to me, on this mixtape, this was maybe the low point.
You skip music? I never skip songs.
I
hang in there. Even if I don't like it. I always listen to your songs. I always listen to your songs on repeat all day long. Your songs do come up on my thing because I've bought your albums, dummy.
Oh, yeah. I forget that people buy albums.
But I think it's important to, listen to the song, even if you don't like it. I think you gotta bear through it. That's why B-sides were created. Like, it was like the open mic for the artist. Like, all right, let me just throw this out there, see what happens. But Blur was huge. 2000, what was this? 2003. I think it'd be funny if we all did the same year. That would be interesting to see what we all.
That's a good idea.
Can we do that? I would love.
We do that next week.
Yeah. No, actually, next week is we're taking a week off because we're gonna air the Hall of Fame. But yeah, maybe a week after we can do that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And then Adam and Anthony just have the exact same songs.
Right.
But
how funny would that be?
And I also would like to do a year we didn't live in, which would be interesting, just to see if everybody can pull off a 50s list or something, of 1956 or, it'd be interesting. I love this whole experiment. Has been fun. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for listening and watching Dustin's Vinyl. We have some new clips up on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. Also, go to our YouTube page and check us out on all the podcast platforms and support all record stores because they need your support. All right, everybody. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Nice. So was that the Blue Stripes?
Yeah. There's only one of me. And I can still do the drumming.
Blue Stripe. Yeah.
Whatever she does.
Nice.
Blue Stripes?
Blue Stripe. That's
Called
your new
Yelp.
band.
Yeah,
Let's do that. I love it.